thank you very much. Here in Tallahassee, Florida, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. A spectacular evening for college football as we welcome California, the Golden Bears, into the ACC in their first ever matchup with Florida State. Cal undefeated, FSU trying to turn its season around here at home at Doak Campbell. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico, which should be an outstanding atmosphere once again here at Doak Campbell Stadium. He's Sam Acho. I'm Roy Philpott. Taylor Davis joins us on the sidelines in just 1 minute. Acho, you can feel the electricity. Florida State ready to turn its season around. But undefeated Cal, how have they done it up to this point?
They've done it by defense. They have 10 takeaways. They've taken the ball away by fumbles and by interceptions. 9 interceptions, 1 fumble. And so the way they're leading offense is by taking the ball away on defense.
They've gotten the job done. A road win at Auburn already as well. And they will get some help tonight in the offensive backfield. For more on that, we check in with Taylor Davis.
Running back Jaden Ott returns to play here tonight. Last year's Pac-12 leading rusher, and as Florida State head coach Mike Norvell put it, one of the best backs in the country. Ott's been dealing with an ankle injury all season. He missed last week's game, was about 50% at Auburn the week before, but coaches tell me this is as close to full go as he's been. Now still expect to see Javian Thomas, who's coming off a career high last week, but they want to get Jaden Ott and that home run ability back into the fold tonight, guys.
Yeah, first team all Pac-12 a year ago, and perhaps one of the best running backs in the ACC in 2024. Meanwhile, for Florida State, speaking of yards on the ground, they would love to find a way, Acho, to muster some offense in the rush yards department tonight.
Well, they need to find a way to get a lead. The reason why they're one of the worst teams in running the ball is because they're playing from behind, so they have to throw it. Not to mention some injuries on the offensive line, so if they get that situated, their run game should get going.
Yeah, some help coming tonight at left tackle. And you see the numbers for head coach Mike Norvell, second fewest rushing yards per game coming into this game tonight, week 4 of college football. Got to find a way to get better as we take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Carfax.
So we're talking about 2 players. We're going to start with Cade Uluave. He's a linebacker, number 0. He's a heat-seeking missile all around the football. And if he's not around the football, look for Noah Williams. He'll probably have the football. 4 picks on the season, leads all of college football. Florida State side, Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, has to get it going. He's had a hand injury, been battling that the last 7 months. Is getting healthier. Expect him in the backfield. And then Ryan Fitzgerald, one of the best kickers in all of college football, has nailed 3 50-plus yarders, also a 59-yarder. So he's a key player for this team.
Welcome to the ACC, California, their first ever game within the Atlantic Coast Conference. And the travel has been well documented. An early season matchup with UC Davis at home before traveling across the country. We just mentioned the road win at Jordan-Hare Stadium, 21-14. They go back home to Berkeley the following week and a 21-point victory against San Diego State before returning some 2,600 miles back east, Acho, here in Tallahassee. The question remains, how will this program and this university handle this kind of consistent travel across multiple sports? And that man, Justin Wilcox, told us this week, we embrace it. It gives our guys more time together, and it's not a big deal. Let's see if he's right.
He said that planes are magical. He said they take you from one place to another, get a chance to rest a little bit. And he also talked about how he rewards the best performers on the team with a little extra leg room. And so he said it's not that big of a deal as far as the travel goes. Now it's time for game time.
Let's go.
Just about set, ready to go. Cal won the coin toss and deferred. The undefeated Bears in Tallahassee for the first time. Florida State in the white helmets tonight, a rare occasion with the all-garnet uniforms. As the kick sails 8 yards deep. And our first look at the transfer from Oregon State and Clemson, DJ Uiagalelei in start number 4. The pressure is on the shoulders of number 4 in Garnet tonight to find a way to generate some early points and momentum.
Generate some early points, but also generate some energy. That's one thing we heard from Coach Norvell talking about, man, we got to get him playing with a little bit more energy, some juice. Let's see if he shows up with that juice against Cal.
Knowles not expected to utilize Roydell Williams tonight. Lawrence Toafili, Cam Davis expected to get a bulk of the carries as Uiagalelei operates out of the shotgun, and he will most of this evening. Toafili tries the right side, cuts it back. Brought down near the 30, a quality gain on first down of 5. Teddy Buchanan with a tackle.
And I love what I'm seeing early. And yes, this is early, but I'm seeing the offensive line from Florida State finally getting pushed. We saw none of this last week. Now they're getting moving a lot across the front. I want to see if this continues.
Seminoles have not held the lead in a game since way back in Ireland in the first half against Georgia Tech. Pressure, and the pass intended for Kyle Morlock. Xavier Carlton able to sneak into the backfield, Acho.
Xavier Carlton isn't sneaking in many places. He's 6'6", 275, and you can feel him. Right here, he's slow playing the quarterback. He's able to affect the quarterback's eyes and the arm angle. But more than that, this defense loves to run to the football. And so anytime that ball is thrown to the sideline, Carlton and the rest of the defense is sprinting full speed ahead.
3rd down and 6, first possession of the night for Florida State. Morlock's been a popular target for DJ Uiagalelei as of late. Delayed snap, Uiagalelei shoves a blocker in front of him, has to get to the 35, and he'll be stopped 1 yard short. Teddy Buchanan again.
DJ on the keeper.
Buchanan's one of the leaders of this defense and one of the leaders in tackles in the ACC. He's got 30. He's another guy that's usually around this football. The thing they talked about with this offense was letting DJ use his legs more, being more decisive as a runner. He's a big-bodied human being. Looks like they're going for it. 4th and 1 from their own 34.
Seminoles 6 of 9 on 4th down this year, and a big play early. Power set, penalty markers fly. Acho, not much happening on that play.
Full start. Offense. Number 54. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Jalen Early, the start at right tackle, replacing the injured Jeremiah Byers. And this has been an issue for Florida State on the offensive line the first 3 weeks.
It has, early with the early movement, but this may have been a benefit for Florida State. That snap was botched. If they would have ran the play, it would have been a fumble. They would not have got it. So now, Alex Mastromano gets a chance to show off his booming leg.
Nearly 50 yards per punt last year and this season. Tops in America in 2024. And the fair catch called for by Mikey Matthews at the 19 after a punt of 52. 3 and out for Florida State's offense, and now our first look at Cal's quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. A Florida native coming back to his home state with something to prove tonight.
Mendoza is courageous, let's put it that way. He's 6'5", 225, and he plays fearless. He'll try and fit the ball into tight windows. He's grown so much as a starter. I want to see sometimes if he can take a little bit less hits. He's taken a lot of hits and sacks over the course of this season.
70% completion percentage so far this year for Mendoza. To the air, Jaden Ott an early touch. Corralled quickly at the 21. A 2-yard gain, the stop by DJ Lundy.
Not as a guy who has great hands out of the backfield. So they use him in the run game, one of the best running backs, but they also love to use him catching the ball out of the backfield. That's one of his elite level traits that he has.
After a gain of 2. 2 minutes in Tallahassee. Ott, the stutter step, the cut, and there he goes. Shoved out of bounds near first down yardage at the 29 by Kevin Knowles, the second, a gain of 8.
So you see, the other thing you see about Jaden Ott is his patience. That play is designed to go inside, but instead of taking it inside, he sees all the defenders on the inside, so he bounces it outside. That shows me patience and vision and confidence in your eyes.
Straight ahead, Mendoza. He kept it across the 30, and that's it. Patrick Payton, the tackle. Brings Brings up second down and long. What have you seen of FSU defensively in your film study leading into this game? It feels like gradual improvement.
Gradual improvement, but it needs to be more immediate. It's been a tale of 2 seasons, per se. The first 2 games, they're one of the worst defenses, giving up a lot of big runs. Last week, they finally slowed down on the runs, but still gave up some big passes. So I want to see more confidence and more playmaking to find a way to take the ball away.
Mendoza's going to be flushed and driven down back at the 14. Joshua Farmer, one of your impact players, Acho, got there in a hurry.
People don't understand, Roy, the importance of hands when it comes to defensive linemen. Joshua Farmer's been dealing with the hand injury the last 7 months. He's finally getting healthy. You see him on the inside. He's going to come in on essentially a pass rush game, and he's going to use his hands to get around the offensive lineman. When you're big, he's 6'2", 300-plus pounds, you're not just going to go in there with your shoulder. You have to use your hands to push, pull, long arm, and stab. Farmer's finally getting into his groove.
Preseason all-conference, second sack of the year for number 5 in Garnet. Third down and long. Mendoza with a penalty marker down. Dumps it off to Ott, nothing doing. Blake Nicholson with the tackle. And we'll check the infraction. A busy night already for this ACC crew, led by Stuart Mullins.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 10. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Florida State's defense up to the challenge. 1 first down for Cal, and then a quick punt. Lachlan Wilson on the field. And Wilson, the transfer. See that ball down inside the 40. And a punt of 39. Scoreless in Tallahassee. 4 minutes in at Doak Campbell. Two possessions, 2 punts back in Tallahassee. Let's take a look at the Taco Bell Live Más student section. All season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more today. Acho, the Florida State students have been very vocal early, arriving at Doak Campbell Stadium more than an hour before kickoff. Hopes that their Noles can turn this season around, the defending champions in the ACC. On the reverse, into plus territory, Ja'Kai Douglas, and a gain of 15.
One thing that we learned about this offense is that they want to try to make the defense confused, whether that's by shifts, motions, or reverse. This is going to be a reverse to Douglas. Defense is looking one way, you take the ball the other.
To a Philly, the inside give, stacked up after a short gain of 1, maybe 2.
To a Philly of the Gary.
What can an offense do to generate confidence and momentum? It seems simple. Hey, score big plays. In your mind, what needs to happen?
It needs to be not necessarily the scores, but the big plays, the matriculation of the ball down the field. If you get a little bit of that, now your offense has confidence. They say, man, okay, we can do this. That's what they're hoping to accomplish.
Play action, Uyunglele back to pass. That slant pattern is caught. Inside the 30 goes Jalen Brown. So a gain of 16, the stop by Noel Williams.
And another thing you talk about is not just the positive plays that you see, but just a confidence of seeing the ball completed and seeing the ball caught. That gives your whole team confidence in everything you're doing.
Uyunglele set the feet, delivered another strike to Toa Philly. Well, he can run it, he can catch it. Lueva with the tackle out of bounds, a gain of 5.
And notice, Roy, the hurry-up offense that's happening right now. So now the defense is trying to sub, which they're allowed to because there's been a change in substitution on offense. But that kind of tempo can give your offense confidence as well.
Freshman Cam Davis in at running back. He's been battling a wrist injury. Now healthier. Davis barrels his way straight ahead. Buchanan, another tackle. He's been active FSU's first 2 touches. That should be enough for a first down.
Officials timeout for an injured.
And an injured Seminole remains on the turf near the 18. We'll step aside, 8:49 to go. Florida State on the move when we come back.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Get more with Geico. And in part by Verbo Private Vacation Rentals. Relax, you booked a Verbo.
Well, everybody was talking about it this past week. Hashtag Calgorithm as the Bears come into the ACC for the first time here in Tallahassee. Quite the conversation with Cal Twitter taking over. Nacho, I can't wait to tell you more about that as we go deeper into this game. Florida State on the move. Cam Davis did jump to his feet and walked over to the sideline after a lengthy delay during that timeout. He's currently in the medical tent. Noles have it their second possession. Benson goes in motion. Uiagalelei the pump fake. Dumps it off to his tight end. Morlock with a pass. Shoved out near the 7.
So what have we seen on this drive, or really these 2 drives? We've seen some hurry up. We've seen some screens or attempted screens. We've seen reverses. Anything you can possibly do to slow down a smart defense.
Toafili back on the field at running back. He'll get a touch. The spin down to the 1. Last Florida State lead in a game this year. Week 1, first half in Ireland against Georgia Tech was 11-7. Second and goal. Handoff straight ahead, Toafili. He got there for the touchdown. Nacho, you could hear the student section. Let's go, DJ. They got behind their quarterback in the red zone. An important early score for the Noles.
They got behind their quarterback, and their quarterback and running back got behind that offensive line. They're finally getting push, and that push creates confidence for the entire team.
Ryan Fitzgerald has been perfect this year from long distance and with his point after touchdowns. And again, he's true 7-0. FSU with the advantage halfway home in our first quarter.
Sometimes all you need is an opportunity, and this opportunity by Lawrence Toafili finding the end zone behind that offensive line is creating momentum for an offense.
Great start for the home team, 7-0. Florida State leading Cal. How great is it to see that young man, Jordan Travis, back at Doak Campbell Stadium. 5th round pick of the New York Jets. You remember how last year ended the devastating injury. And now back rooting on his team after the Jets had an impressive win Thursday night against New England. We check in again with Taylor Davis.
A jolt of energy down here on the Florida State sideline. That touchdown marked the first lead that they've seen here in Doak Campbell all season. And Coach Norvell told us a fast start is what we've been after. Last week against Memphis, second offensive play was a fumble. He said we've been too circumstantial and the negatives have carried with us too much. We want to start out with positives. Offensively, they wanted a balanced attack. It's exactly what this showed. This defense down here saying, hey, we carry this momentum.
Taylor, the other thing Mike Norvell told us yesterday, talked to his quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei, said, I want to feel you this week. I want to feel you in practice, on the sidelines, in the game. I think we've seen a little bit of a different quarterback as DJ Lundy stops the ball carrier for no gain.
Well, we've seen a different quarterback. We've also seen a different defense. You asked earlier about, man, what have the changes been? I got a chance to talk to defensive coordinator Adam Fuller on the football field. I said, man, what'd you tell your guys before the game? He said, I told them to dominate, to remember who they are and who we are. And that's what we're seeing so far. The defense is playing more like the defense of last year than the defense of the first 2 weeks of Florida State.
Second down and long. Mendoza wants his tight end deep down the field. Climbing the ladder, Corey Dyches. What a weapon. Is he a slot receiver? Is he a tight end? He's 6'2", 220, an absolute beast.
This is exactly what defensive coordinator Adam Fuller feared, that they would try to get him one-on-one.
Quick screen pass out in the flats. Tron Grizel. Quick grab after a gain of 28.
When we talked with defensive coordinator Adam Fuller, he said, man, that Dyches, number 10, he can play inline, he can play spread out. The next level for him is going out a receiver, and that's what we're seeing from him.
Takes it to the perimeter. What nifty cut to avoid all that traffic inside. He'll dance out of bounds after a gain of 4. Patrick Payton had a chance for the TFL. Cam Davis, the pads off, walking into the locker room for the Noles. It's 3rd down and 2 for Cal.
Big deal. Cam Davis out. Roydale Williams also out. So it could be a big blow for Florida State.
Cal 40% on 3rd down this season. Javian Thomas on the field. Straight ahead, and I don't think so. Stopped at the line, no gain. Cam Riley met him at the line of scrimmage. Driven stroke down.
I love seeing the patience by Cam Riley, but now it's 4th down and plus territory, 4th and 3. Outside of field goal range, you got to go for it.
Cal 3 and 7 on 4th down this season. Analytics tell you to go. Play clock winding down. Both sides had to get a chance to substitute. And a timeout called by the Bears.
Slightly nuanced, but I just love how when the offense substitutes, the defense is allowed to take their time and to delay that clock just a little bit to force timeouts.
Let's get you to the studio and Kevin Connors, KC. Now the maize and blue getting it done, and meanwhile Cal out of the timeout, electing to punt the football instead of going for it on 4th and short, Acho. So an interesting decision there by Justin Wilcox. Lachlan Wilson sends it 2 yards deep. Noles will get it at their own 20. Down to Taylor Davis.
Well, guys, Cal quarterback Fernando Mendoza just came off the field, immediately ran up to Cal's equipment team saying his helmet comm system is not working. As we've seen so far this season, if one team's helmet system goes out, the other team is also no longer allowed to utilize theirs. The entire equipment team testing out different helmets down here, trying to get him one that's operable. I'll keep you posted.
And we saw Fernando Mendoza running back and forth between plays, trying to make sure that the play call was what it was supposed to be. And consequentially, that means DJ Uyunglele can't talk to Mike Norvell. The Seminoles ensuing possession, which begins right now. Cam Davis back in the locker room. No Roydale Williams. Play action on 1st down. Hakeem Williams across the 35 and a gain of 19.
Taylor was watching him in practice yesterday, and you said, man, it looks like they may be targeting him a lot more. He's been through some injuries. Now they're getting him the ball early.
Those utilizing tempo. They have found their rhythm early in this first quarter. So Philly picks up 7. Head to the 46. Acho, you can feel the rhythm of FSU's offense for the first time all year, basically, right now.
Part of that, to your point, Roy, maybe Offensive coordinator Alex Atkins is back. Confidence in the O-line.
Malik Benson on the swing pass and a form tackle back at the 40. Miles Williams, and a loss of 5.
Great recognition by Miles Williams, 6 feet, 190, redshirt senior from Mansfield, Texas. He goes with the motion, but he's watching the quarterback's eyes. There's no blocker for him, but that's not an easy tackle to make. You're one-on-one in the backfield. This is a confident bunch in this Cal defensive backfield. Watch out for them making plays.
3rd down and 8. Bears with 6 in the box. Uiagalelei steps up, fires a strike to his tight end, Morlock, and that's a 1st down. Macho, they were working on those exact circumstances yesterday in their final walkthrough as Uiagalelei would try to avoid the pressure, and the pressure was coming from Mike Norvell.
And that's right. And what happens in this is that DJ Uiagalelei, he's 6'4", 252. He can run the ball. And so you see Uluave says he might run it. I'm going to step up in my zone. And that's where that zone is voided for the quick completion for a 1st down.
I had never seen that before. A head coach working with his quarterback, eluding the pass rush when he was the pass rusher. Over the right side, FSU has found its ground game so far, nearly 7 yards per play in this 1st quarter.
And if I'm Florida State right now, Roy, we talked with some of their coaches yesterday. They talked about earning the right to pass, at least down the field after getting some of the run game going. This would be a time, 2nd and manageable, where you could take a shot down the field in the pass game.
Numbers are not pretty. Still a lot of football left to be played in 2024. And off over the left side, another 1st down. Toafili down to the 31. 12-yard gain on the ground. Miles Williams, the stop.
The offensive line has been the story in this game. Notice the push. Notice the window that's created for Toafili to run right down the middle of the defense untouched. When you're a defense, you want to create somewhat of a fence. You want to make them go side to side, not vertical, up and down. And that's what we're seeing, a break in the fence, an opening in this defense.
Sam Singleton Jr. in at running back for the 1st time tonight. Redshirt freshman out of Charleston, South Carolina. Hit hard at the 30 after a gain of 1. Teddy Buchanan. Mike Norvell indicated to us yesterday we would see Singleton at various points tonight, and with Cam Davis in the locker room, perhaps a bigger opportunity for number 28.
Well, absolutely. 5'11", 195 redshirt freshman who's got a lot of speed. Norvell said, okay, we're going to give him an opportunity. We don't want to put too much on him too early. We want to show off some of his explosive ability.
Time winding down in the 1st. Benson on the move. Singleton straight ahead. Work his way down to the 25. That's about it. They'll whistle the play dead there. What could be the final play of our 1st quarter.
I don't know if you sense what I sense, Roy, but it almost feels like there's an attitude about this offense that they haven't had over the first 3 weeks of the season.
An attitude on the offensive line. At running back, maybe even at quarterback. An accurate start for DJ Uiagalelei. Cal has not trailed at the end of any quarter this season until now. 7-0 FSU.
Welcome back to Doak Campbell Stadium. Florida State with a 7-0 lead over Cal. Coach Wilcox is with me now. Coach, the Seminoles have had a balanced attack early. How can your defense adjust?
Yeah, we got to get early down wins. We got to tackle better, and then the RPO game, we got to get tighter in coverage. That's what it is. Early down wins, which is tackling a lot of the time, and then the RPO game.
Thank you so much for your time.
Start of our 2nd quarter, 7-0 Florida State. Noles on the move. Appreciate hearing from Justin Wilcox. You're number 8 in Berkeley. What a great job he's done especially this season, the first for Cal in the ACC. On third down, Toafili busts through. He's got a first down and more. Tripped up crossing the 15. Greg Woodson brought him down, a gain of 12 on 3rd and 4. FSU on the ground has been dominant. Toafili a big reason why. Luave with the tackle after a gain of 2. Cal's been better in the second half this year for various reasons. Florida State's trying to find its way. This Cal defense has been tested. Uyunglele wants to go back the other direction. The screen. Toafili stopped just short of the goal line with a penalty marker down to the 12. McKenzie stopped the potential touchdown. And this one coming back.
Holding. Offense. Number 69. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
TJ Ferguson.
Something to be alert for with this offense is a couple things. Number one, they've gotten to the red zone a few times, and Ferguson's going to have a holding penalty here. But one of the things that they worked on this week of practice was anything inside the 12. And right there, they're at the 11-yard line. Now they're going backwards. It's one thing to matriculate the ball down the field, a whole nother thing to score tight in the red zone.
11th play of the drive right now. Uyunglele wisely didn't toss the screen. He'll fight for whatever yardage he can. And across the 20, and that's it, a 2-yard pickup. Could have been much worse, Acho.
Oh, absolutely. It was great by DJ Uyunglele of getting positive yards, not taking a sack. But I'm noticing a trend here. That's the second, or really fourth screen that they've attempted trying to slow down a defense. As a defensive end, I would hate when teams would run screens, because now all of a sudden, instead of going up the field to rush the quarterback, I'm thinking, okay, is it going to be a tight end screen, a running back screen? Do I need to slow down? That's the hard part about defending the screen game for a defense.
Third down, 14 yards to go for Uyunglele, a quarterback now that has accounted for over 10,000 yards total offense in his collegiate career. With time. Pass is intercepted. A penalty marker comes in. It's picked off. And Cal with its 10th interception of this season. That leads America. It's Miles Williams. Acho, it is what they do.
The result of the play is an interception. Holding. Offense. Penalties decline. First down, Cal. Timeout.
People wonder, how do quarterbacks throw right to the defense? Well, the defense is confusing you before the snap. You show one coverage, you change to another. All of a sudden, Miles Williams says, you know what, I'm going to read your eyes, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to get my team the ball.
Critical turnover for FSU in the red zone. Noles lead Cal 7-0. Miles Williams, the interception moments ago.
And it starts off looking like man-to-man, but instead of man-to-man, you're going to see buzzing out to the flat. So it's not man, it's some form of a robber. And so Miles Williams in the middle of the field, he's just watching the quarterback's eyes and steals it.
Mendoza has a man well behind the secondary. And a big play for Cal in the passing game, all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Mikey Matthews just picked up 47.
Little man with a big heart, 5'9", 180, playmaker.
Using tempo out in the flats. Quick pitch and catch, and another first down. Inside the 15 to Mason Starling.
Mikey Matthews is a guy they like to go to on a lot of their option routes, not usually down the field. It looks like it's a zone read. Matthews gets lost behind the defense, and though he's not the biggest individual, he's a transfer from Utah, led Utah on kick returns and punt returns. He loves getting the ball in his hand and getting vertical.
Javian Thomas, the running back, inside handoff, lasso from behind. Sent down, he'll lose a yard by Josh Farmer. The Bears strike quickly. 2 big plays right after the interception. Fernando Mendoza without an incomplete pass. Thomas will try the right side, cuts it back in. It'll be 3rd down. Shaheem Brown is healthy. He made the tackle. Gain of 4.
Talk about the red zone for both teams. Score zone. 3rd and 8, though, it's an obvious pass situation. I'm looking for Isaiah Hunter, who's been a big target for them in the red zone.
Empty backfield. Now Thomas will set up the screen to the other side. Needed 8, and I don't think so. Thomas the tackle after a 5-yard gain. Jonathan Brady couldn't quite get there. 4th down, and here comes the field goal unit for head coach Justin Wilcox. And Ryan Coe has not had the kind of start to his season that he anticipated. The transfer, last saw him at Delaware. This attempt from 25 yards, a chip shot. Just 2 of 6 on the season. And from North Carolina, Delaware, and now at Cal. Field goal makes it 7-3. Well, don't forget, this season All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. Acho, the response by Cal. Impressive. The Miles Williams interception, 2 quick plays, knocking on the door of the red zone.
Well, one of the things that you notice when teams get a takeaway is that they may try to take a shot early. A turnover or takeaway is momentum. So you want to not only capture that momentum, but advance that momentum. That's why you make or take a deep shot early in a game, or at least as soon as you get a turnover, and that builds your momentum, builds your confidence for this team.
Well, the opportunistic defense. The California Golden Bears, their first season in the ACC. True difference maker. There's 10 interceptions. A big reason why this team arrives here at Toe Campbell undefeated. And Coe sends it deep through the back of the end zone. Now, next week's ABC Saturday night matchup is the game of the week, maybe the game of the season. Into the SEC we go. Number 2 Georgia, 4th ranked Alabama, the rematch of the SEC championship game from last year. Coverage starts 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Over on ABC. Both teams with the week off leading into that monumental tilt. And here comes DJ Uiagalelei after throwing his 3rd interception of the season moments ago. Jaylen Brown, the LSU transfer, went in motion. Left side run. Gain of 2 by Toafili.
I love watching this defense on film, Roy, and the reason why is that they play everything so technique sound. They frustrate offenses. You see a pulling guard, oftentimes defensive ends will just run up the field. This team will say, you know what, no, we're going to actually spill that guard, meaning we're going to go underneath and make them run around us and bring everyone else to the ball. This defense is special.
Peter Sermon, the defensive coordinator, played with Justin Wilcox in the late 90s at Oregon. Screen pass to the tight end, Morlock. And he's going to lose a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Nate Burrell had him behind the line of scrimmage.
This is where you don't want to be if you're Florida State. We talked about those 3rd and long situations. Actually, Alex Atkins, our offensive coordinator, said this is the thing we don't want. Obvious pass situations makes it hard for an offensive line to block. Let's see if Cal brings pressure on this 3rd and 10.
9 minutes to go here in the first half. 3rd down and long. Here comes pressure. Uiagalelei. Kentron Portier ahead to the 39. A gain of 14 on 3rd and long. Right in the face of that pressure, and Uiagalelei delivered.
He was unafraid. Great block by the running back, but DJ was unafraid, stood in the pocket. Perfect pass.
Seven-man box for the Bears. Toafili, a stutter step. Stopped at the 44. You feel the uneasiness at times here at Doak Campbell. Early touchdown, momentum is there, then it quickly fades away. The interception, the 90 rush yards, almost twice what Florida State has averaged every game this year.
And they're hoping for something positive to happen. That's why you feel some of that feeling of tenseness. They want something good to happen for their offense.
On 2nd down, Uiagalelei heaves it deep and incomplete. You span the intended receiver. Jair Smith in coverage. 3rd and 5.
Jair Smith was stride for stride. This redshirt junior, 6'1", 185. I'm telling you, this defensive backfield, they're trying to confuse DJ Uiagalelei by showing him one thing before the snap and then switching and shifting to a different defense after the snap.
He did face Cal at Oregon State a year ago and put up a career afternoon for the Beavers, tossing 5 touchdowns. Toafili on 3rd and 5 easily picks up the 1st down, racing into Cal territory. A gain of 9, but you wonder, Acho, what happened last year with Oregon State. That resonates this year for DJ Uiagalelei. He's got an offensive line playing like this. The answer could be yes.
Well, that's all you need. And that's what DJU did last year at Oregon State. The offensive line was great. They were running the ball, and all of a sudden they could work the play action off of the run game. We haven't seen that so far from Florida State up until tonight.
Helped having Damian Martinez in Corvallis, too. He's now playing down at Miami. And Stuart Mullins stopped this play before it started.
The clock stopped after the 1st down inbounds and never restarted. Please reset the clock to 7:34. 7:34, please, and start it on my signal. Thank you.
A 7-3 ball game. Mike Norvell remains confident with his team, with this program. That was evident in our conversations with him this week. And despite the 0-3 start and the preseason top 10 ranking, Toafili to the pause inside the 45. David Reese, who's now healthy for Cal, chopped him down. We've seen Cam Davis back on the field as well. That's a good sign for FSU.
Especially when you're running the ball this effectively. Toafili as a running back, yes, you want all the touches. You could also get tired. So the fact that having Cam Davis able to rotate in there and getting different backs opportunities, it keeps them fresh while the defense gets exhausted.
2nd down and 8. End around, brought down in the backfield. All the way at the 49, Ja'Kai Douglas. Xavier Carlton, he's going to lose 5.
Xavier Carlton consistently shows up on tape. When you watch this team, whether he's in the backfield or running to the ball, he's on the edge. He's your left defensive end. He's not going to get fooled by this. He's slow playing it and going to make the tackle for a 5-yard loss. But whether he's in the backfield 5 yards or rushing the quarterback, he's a guy, 6'6", 275, 5th-year senior, smart individual, always trying to get around the ball.
Cam Davis back on the field. He'll motion out on 3rd and 13. Uiagalelei, a spin move, brought down at the 42 by TJ Bollers. So a gain of 7, and now decision time for Mike Norvell, because we've seen the booming leg of Ryan Fitzgerald. Remember the 59-yarder he made in Dublin, Ireland back in week 0. Hasn't missed yet this season. Analytics suggest to kick the field goal. Mike Norvell currently thinking otherwise on 4th and 6.
The analytics know who the kicker is. That's why they're making that decision.
I didn't know analytics had that kind of knowledge. It's refreshing to know that they do.
Timeout.
And a timeout call.
Florida State. Their first of the half.
Seminoles will think about it. 5:34 remaining in the half, and a 4-point lead for the home team.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico, is brought to you by Arby's. We have the meats.
Well, a great night for tailgating, enjoying some fantastic food, inside or out. Joe Campbell Stadium, 7-3. Florida State leading Cal. Ryan Fitzgerald, we mentioned how outstanding he's been so far this year. Hasn't missed a kick. That long of 59 in Ireland against Georgia Tech shortly before halftime. That tied the score at 14 apiece. But after the timeout, here comes Alex Mastromanno, the standout punter. The analytics suggesting to kick it in this situation, meaning to punt it, given the low score of this game and the fact it could be a field position contest as we get deeper into it. Mastromanno tops in the country, nearly 50 yards per punt. How about that? For the hidden yardage of special teams, down at the 2. A punt of 41, and that was executed perfectly.
I could have said it better myself. This is what special teams is supposed to look like. It's a plus 50 punt, meaning the punt returner is either going to fair catch it or not catch it. So you see 3 guys. Jabril Rawls, is the one who catches it. But 3 Florida State specialists are running down to the end line, to the goal line, stopping at the 1-yard line, and finding the football. That's a huge field position swing when it comes to a low-scoring game. So brilliant play by Rawls, finding the football at the 1-yard line. That's plus 19 when it comes to the hidden yardage in football. Ball would have been at the 20. Now it's at the 2, at the 1.
Crowd on its feet. Deitch is in motion. 2 penalty markers fly.
Prior to the snap, full start. Offense, number 76. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And the reason why playing backed up matters so much is that in practice you have different periods. One of the periods you have is a backed up period. Some people call it Blackstone. You're all the way backed up. Your play selection is limited. The crowd gets more involved. Everything is a lot tighter, and safeties are possible. And so being backed up is very tough for an offense and a great opportunity for the D.
They'll stop it again.
Full start. Offense, number 11. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Even Anderson jumped. Well, Cal's not going to lose a lot of yardage here, being already inside the 1. Play action, Mendoza wants to go long, and it is incomplete. He was trying to spot Hunter. Coverage by Jones. Second down and 11.
Quindarius Jones, 6'2", 190. Great coverage on the outside. And now you're on 2nd and 13 from your backed up. If you get a stop here in the next play, all of a sudden, talk about the hidden yardage. Notice where the ball is going to be. Huge down for Florida State's defense.
Mendoza floats one deep again. Hunter, and incomplete. Well, the same 2, this time deeper down the field. And Jones up to the challenge against Isaiah Hunter.
Now, Isaiah Hunter is a target for this offense. He leads the team in touchdowns, leads the team in tackles. So they say, Quindarius, you're 6'2", use your length. You're staying man-to-man, you're right on him. Stay patient, don't run into him. Just get your long arms between the ball and his hands, and that'll keep us from giving up a penalty or a big play. Great job by Jones, playing very smart football. The crowd is into it now as well.
Another flag flies in. Third penalty on this drive alone against Cal.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense. After this is to the goal. Third down.
Will the Bears dare try to throw it again? Mendoza has been under some pressure.
Please reset the game clock.
Nacho, he's going to receive the snap almost 6 yards deep in his own end zone.
And part of the idea is, yes, you want to get a first down, and at worst, just get positive yards so you're not punting it from the back of your end zone.
At the running back, Deitch's in motion. Roll Mendoza out again. Flings it. Hunter has it, and that's a Cal first down. 3 times on this possession, Mendoza has tried to find Hunter. Third time's a charm, a gain of 27.
Now, Isaiah Hunter has been the star for this offense. They're going to roll out to give some space for the quarterback. Hunter finds a soft spot in the zone, and he slows down, gives his quarterback a window.
There's Martin that corralled it. Straight ahead, the inside give. Across the 30. Omar Graham Jr. The tackle on Jaden Knott. Cal utilizing tempo, the screen game. Josiah Martin picks up a couple. KJ Kirkland has been part of this revamped Florida State secondary, youth movement of sorts, a redshirt freshman. Ample reps this week in practice. More playing time tonight for 24 in Garnet. 3rd and 3.
So this is still a great opportunity for Florida State. Yes, you wanted to keep them backed up, but now if you can get a stop here, you talk about the field position that you'll gain will be positive. If you don't, all of a sudden, they get more confidence and start marching quicker.
Anderson lines up in the slot. Mendoza looks the other way, and the pass broken up. Jones right over top of Brady. It'll be 4th down.
So as a DB, you're oftentimes on an island. That means you got to be confident with yourself and confident in your ability. Right here, Jones is confident. I think he's a little bit early, but he's confident. Gets his arm around the receiver, so we might have been early, and deflects the ball again. So that's 3 plays in a row made by one player who's changing the momentum for his entire team. That's all it takes for positive things to happen for your defense.
So 4th and 3, Cal elects to punt it. Lachlan Wilson. Lane McCoy, the fair catch at the 16 after a punt of 48. 7-3, Noles get it back when we come back to Doak Campbell. You're watching ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by Geico. 7-3, Florida State leading Cal. Noles get the football back. Don't forget, kick off your Week 3 NFL Sunday with the Countdown Crew. Alex Smith sits down with Kirk Cousins before he leads the Falcons against the Chiefs. Who doesn't love a big man touchdown? We go inside the art of the thick 6. Plus, the latest news from Adam Schefter. And you got Moss. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. FSU with the football. Uiagalelei retreats on the screen. And a pass caught to Malik Benson. Just a short gain of a yard.
So there's a little less than 4 minutes left in the half. And you've been going a lot of hurry up. Now's not the time to go hurry up. Now's the time to try and slow down your offense. Why? So you can lead. Number one, you want to score, but leave as little time as possible for Cal to get the football. So slower pace, still get first downs, and leave a little clock.
Now both teams, 2 timeouts remaining, and the 2-minute timeout. Fake to Cam Davis, and the pass incomplete, looking for Benson. Pass sailed high. May have been tipped by David Reese. You see Uyunglele's numbers on 3rd down tonight. That 1 interception. One of the bigger plays of this half. 9 of 13 overall for 71 yards. Florida State needs 9 here. Uyunglele, plenty of time. The comeback route is there, as is the first down. Gain of 13. And the Noles on the move once again. Jalen Brown the grab.
That was against Noah Williams, number 3, the leading interceptor for Cal and in college football. Playing tight coverage, that's a better throw and better catch by DJ Uyunglele.
Brown has provided a spark. We saw him being vocal this week in practice. Till a Philly tripped up crossing the line of scrimmage. Jair Smith, and a gain of just 1.
See, still they're taking their time, Roy. They're not worried about the clock so much. They want some of it to slow down a little bit because they do know about that 2-minute timeout that's upcoming. They have more than enough time to be able to run their offense without being in hurry up.
Cam Davis, the running back. And here comes more laundry.
Full start. Offense, number 6. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Jalen Brown, we just mentioned the spark that he's provided tonight. Transfer from LSU. Cost his team 5 yards there. Second and 14. Uyunglele, talking with him this week, he said it's been the little things. Mike Norvello's echoed those sentiments. The issues with the offense. Both remain positive. Davis barrels his way to the 25, and that's it. Jair Smith. And a pause with 2 to play in the half. 7-3. We step aside in Tallahassee. Kevin, we cannot wait. It was funny listening to Josh Heupel talk this week and how he expected the Oklahoma fans to be quiet when Tennessee had the football. Out of respect to him, the former OU quarterback. Not so much. Uyunglele on 3rd down fires a pass into the turf and incomplete. Noah Williams in coverage. And FSU, Acho's going to have to punt the football.
They're punting the football to Cal, which is going to have the ball right now. But then Cal, remember, they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, to start the 2nd half. Critical we call it a 4-minute swing. The last 2 minutes of the first half and the first 2 minutes of the second half are critical when it comes to momentum and taking it in a football game.
Mastromano back on the field. Florida State punter from Australia turns it over beautifully. Matthews cuts it back. Swallowed up at the 32 after a punt of 48. And we talked this week with Fernando Mendoza. We mentioned earlier a Florida native, Columbus High School. He transferred into Columbus as a sophomore, but coming back home to the Sunshine State, Acho, it was not lost on him and what it meant to be able to play here at Doak Campbell, the outstanding high school career that he had. He was once committed to Yale to play football. Enter Cal and Justin Wilcox. That changed the complexion of his future football career, but man, he was excited to have a chance to come back and play close to home with mom and dad and the majority of his family in attendance tonight.
And he said he does it for his mom. He's a huge family man, and we're going to get into more of the story, but huge opportunity for Mendoza and honoring his family in this opportunity.
Bears get it back. Powering ahead across the 45. Deitch's physical player picks up 13 and a Cal first down.
Roy, you mentioned Fernando initially being committed to Yale. It was halfway through his senior year that an FBS offer even came in, and I love what he said this week. I've never been deemed a starter in my entire life until now. Last year, third-string quarterback. He's really reveling in this opportunity.
Yeah, Taylor, it was a year ago where he suffered from a turnover problem. Footwork has calmed down this campaign. The pass incomplete to Deitch across the middle. He said his career so far has been a bit of a roller coaster, but Acho, I feel like he embraces that. He's got the perfect personality to be the starting quarterback at Cal, and he's embraced the role in a number of different ways.
He's a serious individual, no nonsense, wants to get the job done, a hard worker, all the things that you would hope for in a starting quarterback. Now he wants to get the winning streak continued now that he's a starter full-time for Cal.
12th start of his young career tonight in Tallahassee. Across the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off, Edwin Joseph. Back into Cal territory, and a late penalty marker flies in. Now the redshirt freshman providing a spark. Defensive coordinator Adam Fuller in this side of the football for the Noles.
After the interception, illegal block in the back. Intercepting team, number 90, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Florida State.
It's Grady Kelly to negate a big portion of that return.
We talked earlier about the confidence that Fernando Mendoza has. Sometimes that confidence can turn into overconfidence. That's the one knock you may say about Fernando Mendoza early in the season. He really trusts his receivers and fits the ball sometimes in windows that not only are tight, they're non-existent. That window was non-existent. It was closed. It was not open. And so though he tried to get the ball to his receiver, instead the defense said, I'll take that and I'll run with it. Edwin Joseph is a guy who the coaches pointed out as he's going to get more opportunities. You talked about it, Roy, redshirt freshman. Now that he's getting his chance, he's making the most of it.
And that young secondary getting more reps in practice this week, becoming more vocal along the way, and perhaps a difference maker emerging for the Noles. Across the middle, Uliungalale dunks it off. Ja'Kai Douglas with a first down. Tumbling down at the 41, a gain of 16.
Now's when your offense changes. You're still in hurry up. The clock's going to stop for a first down till the ball's reset, and then it's going to get started again, but you have 2 timeouts.
Philly, the running back, Uliungalale, trying to weave his way through traffic, cannot do so. Sack, that's going to be a loss of a yard, Xavier Carlton. And the Noles elect to use a timeout here.
Timeout, Florida State. Their second of the half, 30-second timeout.
Our Sunday night baseball matchup, the series finale of this 4-game set. Big-time playoff implications, just how you would want it. Phillies, Mets, live from Citi Field, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on ESPN2. Baseball tonight, Sunday night countdown, and Eduardo Perez in the building tonight. It's great to see, and talking to some of the all-time Florida State greats back home.
It's so good to see back home. And for me, it's sometimes the legends in different sports. Whether you're football, baseball, basketball, all the different legends that come back. We were in their facility yesterday. You saw some of the trophies, some of the history of Florida State. They want to get this program back to where it was before.
And, of course, Eduardo, part of the Sunday Night Baseball telecast, has done a great job. Great perspective as MLB winds down the regular season. You saw what happened there with the whole Fernando Mendoza conversation, right? The classic announcer jinx. Sang his praises for 90 seconds, then the pick.
Whoops.
Hopefully Eduardo Perez calls a good game.
To a Philly in the flats. Made one Cal defender miss and then pummeled down by Teddy Buchanan, a gain of 4. Well, the clock continues to wind down. FSU just 1 timeout left. 3rd and 7. Uliungalale looking deep. Out towards the near side and incomplete. Well, Buchanan in coverage. FSU running back Toafili. So 4th and 7, clearly within the range of Ryan Fitzgerald. We mentioned the 59-yard field goal back in week 0. If you're Mike Norvell, a slight breeze down there on the playing surface. What do you do here?
One option is to try and hard count, try and steal an extra 5 yards to make the field goal easier. Another option is to not even snap the ball and kick it. Another option is to go for it. I'm not afraid of the hard count in this situation.
Here comes the pressure right through the A-gap, across the middle and incomplete. Douglas, the intended receiver. Well, Peter Sermon has dialed up that pressure on 3rd and 4th down tonight. It was Teddy Buchanan again who was able to get home.
And the reason I don't like that call is this. You're taking almost automatic points off of the board. We used to call this when I played triple middle fire zone. You have 3 guys blitzing all up the A-gap, led by Teddy Buchanan. You cannot block all 3 of those guys. And so the pressure not only is right up in the quarterback's face, but it's happening now. Incomplete pass, turnover on downs, and now all of a sudden you lose a nearly automatic 3 points from one of the best kickers in college football.
Has not missed this season. That right there, though, the main difference between Cal this season and Cal last year. The defense more physical, more aggressive.
And more mature. They're physical, they're aggressive, they're mature. You look through the defensive backfield for Cal, I mean, there's redshirt senior, 6-year senior, 6-year, there's juniors on the team as well. They're so confident and mature.
That just lines up in the slot. Go the other direction. Starling broke 1 tackle, not another. Sent down after a 7-yard gain by Blake Nicholson. And the Bears, with 2 timeouts remaining, are going to utilize 1.
Their second of the half. 30-second timeout.
16 seconds to go. Bears with some work to do to get into field goal range for Ryan Coe. He's been much more inconsistent. We talked earlier, Acho, about Cal being a better team in the second half. Those numbers support that idea. Something to keep in mind if you're a Florida State fan tonight.
In addition to the second half versus first half splits, let's keep in mind those 3 points that potentially are left on the board. If this game comes down to a 1-point game or 2-point game, Florida State ends up losing, that could be a decision where you would say, yes, I get it. There was earlier a 59-yarder, 60-yarder, maybe you punt that one. But this one, 54, 55, 56 yards, I like the points in a low-scoring game.
2nd and 3. Mendoza going to take off. That's a first down into Florida State territory. Well, that slide was awkward. Here comes a penalty marker. A gain of 6. They're going to add 15 on the end of that slide. And a lot to unpack here, but for Justin Wilcox, Bears may be in business.
I'm not so sure they're going to add 15. It looked like Patrick Payton was trying to punch the ball out as the slide was happening, not a shot towards the head or targeting. It looked like it was a punch towards the football.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 33, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Edwin Joseph just had the interception moments ago. And that will shove Cal almost into field goal range at the 34. With the 1 timeout to work with. And Mendoza under center will clock the football.
Roy, people are going to say, man, why would you have a 15-yard penalty? What are you doing? Edwin Joseph, I don't hate his decision. So when you see the ball, you want to try and get the ball as a defender. And yes, it was a little bit late. I do understand that. But the intent of trying to go and take the ball away, to punch it out, to pull it out, to strip it out, I have no issues. Edwin Joseph is aiming at the football, and he hits towards the chest area, maybe the bottom of the helmet. So I understand that it was late, but for me, he's punching towards the football. He's not aiming at the head or neck area. I understand that Mendoza is defenseless. Don't love that call.
Interesting, 2nd and 10. 8 seconds to go. Bears do have the timeout. Deitch's in motion. They'll hand it off to Jaden Ott. Ott racing ahead inside the 20. Got to get out of bounds. He does with 1 second remaining. And Justin Wilcox will call the timeout. So a gain of 23.
Please reset the game clock to 2 seconds. 2 seconds. The runner went out of bounds. The clock will start on the snap. Thank you.
Great job by Ott, using his patience in his eyes. Again, we've talked about this all game long, how patient he is as a runner.
Timeout. Florida State. Their third and final of the half. 30-second timeout.
2 seconds to go.
I have a
7-3, and Cal with a chance to make it a 1-point affair at the break. And this first half has plodded along at times. We thought it would be competitive. It has been, and perhaps lower scoring. These two defenses have showed up tonight.
And Coach Wilcox told us this week, Roy, I don't care what Florida State has done up to this point. You look at their roster, you see professional level players, and they expected they would get Florida State's best. Like he said, the game of football can be finicky. One bounce goes your way.
That's such a great point. And you think about even Cal, some of their wins have been close wins. So they actually are not too disappointed with this game being a close game. Going into halftime, hopefully you get this field goal, and you say, hey, we've got them right where we want them.
29-yard attempt for Ryan Coe, connected from 25 earlier in the half. Now 3 of 7 on the season from the right hash, and Coe makes it a 1-point game at halftime. 7-6 our score. Let's get you to the Twisted Tea halftime report. Say good evening to Kevin Connors, Trevor Maddich. Gentlemen, take it away. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico. Start of our second half at Joe Campbell Stadium, where the lights are out currently, but that Florida State offense at least has given the Noles the advantage at the halfway point. 7-6 our score. Cal's first game as a member of the Atlantic Coast Conference. With Sam Acho, I'm Roy Philpott. Taylor Davis joins us again on the sidelines in just 1 minute. A lot happening at the end of that first half, which leads us to Acho Mind to begin our third quarter, Sam. There were some weird plays that went down.
Well, the first was you have an opportunity on 4th and 7 to kick a field goal with the best kicker, one of the best kickers in all of college football. Instead, you go for it, you don't get it. And then that leads to not a great penalty, put it that way, not a great penalty. 15-yard penalty. Mendoza, you see a little bit of acting, I would call it. Fast forward to a field goal, and then Cal gets the ball back. So if I'm Mike Norvell, I'm saying, hey man, kick the field goal. That's a 56-yarder. Due to the 59-yarder already, Ryan Fitzgerald, 3 for 3 on 50-plus yarders. Big time swing. Are you out your mind?
The answer is yes. So we start our third quarter. Glad you could join us. Florida State trying to turn its season around against undefeated Cal in its first game as a member of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And the Bears will get the football first. So we take a look at tonight's game track, brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. The Seminoles get on the board first. Their first halftime advantage of the year coming in week 4. The numbers, the rush yards highlighted. That is twice their season average here at the break.
That's a big-time positive for Florida State. But the weird part about this game is this is the best quarter or really half of football that they've played, yet they've only put up 7 points. It goes back to some of the red zone efficiency, goes back to some of the high red zone efficiency, and also goes back to some of the questions on, do you kick the field goal? Do you punt it? Do you go for it? Got to be better on 3rd and 4th down.
Cal from the 25. I just went in motion. Jaden Ott to the perimeter, now healthy, and dives across the 30 as we check in with Taylor Davis.
Well, I spoke with Justin Wilcox at the half, and I honestly lost track of how many times he mentioned third downs, guys. He actually said Florida State's converting them, and we're not. And that's the story of this game, hence the score. He also said time of possession being what it is. Florida State 19.5, us just over 10. Your offense can't get in a rhythm in an environment like this with time of possession so lopsided. He said on this first drive, I need to see some converted third downs.
Bears 1 of 5 on third down so far tonight, Taylor. Florida State 5 for 10. That's going to be a TFL inside the 30. Blake Nicholson recording the tackle, bringing down Jaden Ott. So here we go, Acho, our first big play to begin the third quarter. It is third down and 5 yards to go.
They have not been effective on third down, and the negative about not being effective on third down is not only are you losing confidence in your team, but now you're giving the ball to the other team with better field position. So these are what we call money downs in football. Third down is the most important down.
Time for Mendoza, dumps it across the middle. That's enough to move the chains and a lot more. All the way ahead to midfield for Mason Starling, and a gain of 20.
We call it money down because you can make a lot of money on third down if you're a quarterback, if you're a receiver, you're known to be a critical clutch player. That's what Starling did right there.
Mason Starling, redshirt junior from Tacoma, Washington. Penalty marker comes in as Jaden Ott shifts along the right side. Gain of 4. A tackle by Kirkland. He'll bring it back.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Ashton Swinney, second penalty that's been called on 76 tonight in California uniform. Cal and FSU have never met in football. First time that's happened here this evening. Left guard spot, the guilty party tugging on that jersey. Outside the pads and another flag. 3 more fly.
Illegal snap, number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's Will McDonald, the Coastal Carolina transfer. They've been waiting for him to get healthy, and well, you heard this coaching staff talk about number 66 this week, and they said it's not that he has a chip on his shoulder, he's just mean. I think if you're a Cal football fan, that's music to your ears. That time, the snap infraction. Empty backfield on 1st and 25. Ott, long ways from home, will tap dance out of bounds. Kevin Knowles, the second, ushered him out after a gain of just 2.
And I need to correct myself, Roy. Earlier I said the third down is the most important down, but the fact of the matter is, if you're going backwards again and again and again on first down, it makes it a lot more difficult on second and on third down. And so it's all about the bigger picture. It's not just, oh, what do we do on third down? Man, we can't have penalties, holding. If you're Cal, you cannot have plays where you're in 2nd and 23 and plays like that if you want to actually be effective on the later downs.
Zell went in motion pre-snap, play action. Mendoza gets it to 83. Tron Grizel. Well, they wanted to get him the football more. He was open at times last week in the win against San Diego State, a gain of 25.
And he's 6'4", 205, redshirt junior from Park City, Utah. He's long and works with speed. They tried to get it to him last week. Now they finally connected.
Play action again. Back shoulder toss incomplete to Brady. Cypress in coverage for Florida State. Cal has won 6 of its last 7 games, 6 in a row in the regular season dating back to last year. It's a team that found its identity late in Justin Wilcox's 7th campaign. It is carried over into 2024 thus far. Thomas, the running back, he'll get it. Try to get it out of the backfield. And in the flats, the pass incomplete. Hussey in coverage.
Conrad Hussey is another player who the coaches said, hey, keep an eye out for him. We're going to get him more opportunities. 6', 200 sophomore, making the most of his opportunity. Great job in the flat by Hussey.
Nacho, you wonder if Cal feels like it has 2 downs to pick up 10 yards here. 2 of 6 tonight on 3rd down. Clean pocket, Mendoza is tight end Dyches. Nifty cut, across the middle, that's a 1st down for Cal. Well, Corey Dyches, the effort, he'll pick up 15 yards. Tough to tackle in open space.
But there's a lack of communication. You have 2 players essentially vicing Dyches, and then he gets outside of both of them. KJ Kirkland has to say, I'm here on the inside to communicate to keep that ball from getting outside.
Across the middle again and incomplete. Haven Anderson unable to haul it in. The pass had some extra mustard on it. 2nd down and 10.
Just going back to that play, people talk about a quiet defense being a not good defense. If you're loud, you're good. Communicate. You have 2 guys to stop one. That's how you make stops on critical downs. 2nd, 3rd, even 1st down.
Bears in field goal range. Ryan Coe a perfect 2 for 2 tonight. 10th play of the drive coming up. And Thomas piercing his way to the 20. KJ Kirkland the tackle. 4-yard gain. And it's 3rd down.
You heard from Coach Wilcox, we got to be better. He said we have to be better in 3rd down. This is a 4-point potential swing. You get a 1st down, get a touchdown, you score. If you don't, field goal.
Field goal tonight feels more like a touchdown. Starling that went in motion. Mendoza's going to step up and take off. Mendoza to the edge and steps out of bounds right in front of the chains. And it should be enough for a 1st down. It is.
One thing you don't account for is his legs. That's one thing that Fernando Mendoza does use extremely effectively. Nothing's there. Great coverage. He tucks it and he runs, knows exactly where the 1st down marker is and gets by it.
He was sacked 7 times a week ago in the win against San Diego State. Incomplete to Starling. His toughness cannot be questioned. The red zone production is going to be under the spotlight now for this team, however.
Talk about red zone production, Roy. The reason it gets so hard to score in the red zone is that the field is shrunk. The field is condensed. So no longer can you take longer shots down the field. Now everything is different in the red zone because of how tight you are and how close you are to the end zone, to the pretty much the end line.
Nervous moments for mom and dad. A Miami native that plays college football in California. To the end zone, front pylon and incomplete. Now for a moment, Mikey Matthews broke free. Edwin Joseph in coverage, 3rd and 10. To the teeth of that FSU student section. Mendoza driven down and sacked. Back at the 18. Patrick Payton.
Payton with the sack, but Farmer with the pressure. You saw the big 6'3", 300-pounder win on the edge with his hands, and then Payton does the rest. He's spying the quarterback, and so once the quarterback gets flushed to the right, Payton comes and gets out of his spy and attacks the QB.
Center cut for Ryan Coe. 2 for 2 tonight. This attempt from 36. And the clean snap. Coe's kick on the way, and I don't think so. Wide left. Florida State maintains its lead at 7-6 in Tallahassee. Back in Tallahassee, Florida, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. A beautiful look at the state capitol downtown. And 7-6 our score. FSU leading Cal. The Seminoles in search of that elusive first win, trying to defend their ACC championship from a year ago. And upstart California First season in the ACC, their first game in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Welcome to 2024. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Knowles get it back. Inside give to a Philly. And a race across the 25 as we check in again with Taylor.
Yeah, I spoke with Mike Norvell at the half as well, and kind of like Coach Wilcox, he put the emphasis on third downs, except he was pleased with his team showing on that down. He said that has to continue, and our ability to establish the run is probably going to make the difference. His message to his guys this week and at the half, don't be hesitant trying to not mess up.
It is a slippery slope for a team that's trying to find its way and find some confidence. Case in point, the drop by Morlock.
That hesitancy that he talks about, that stressing, that pressure that you feel, things like that can cause drops. The reason why is because you're so focused on, I got to be the guy to make the play, and this is my opportunity I'm going to get, and then all of a sudden you drop it on a play that you usually catch. How do you drop it? You take your eye off the ball. You have to get back to your fundamentals and your technique, the basics, and you'll be okay. But that stress and pressure rarely helps.
Cam Davis on the field for 3rd and 3. That was right in the breadbasket. Across the middle. Play action to Davis. Uwe Angalale sacked. Back at the 23. Uluave. Boy, he has been outstanding this year at the line of scrimmage and beyond.
He plays at a different speed. He was the Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year last year, and he just has a nose for the football. Great job getting his hands up to block the passing window and then bringing down a 6'2", 245-pound human being. Great job by Uluave.
3 and out for the Noles. Cal gets it back after the missed field goal. Mikey Matthews back deep to receive this punt. Mastromano. A beautiful spiral and the fair catch made. We'll check in again with Kevin Connors. All right, so some interesting games across the various networks. I saw Kevin Connors this past week, MLB squeeze play. He was all over the country getting society ready for Major League Baseball's postseason. Most versatile man that we're talking to tonight does a great job. Mendoza back on the field, avoids the contact, dives ahead for a gain of 2. Hey, Taylor, we think about Fernando Mendoza and his family. His father, Fernando, his mother, Elsa, battling MS. Boy, it's a phenomenal story, a close-knit group where it just means a little bit more for them to be in attendance tonight in the state of Florida watching their son play, right?
If you ask him what his motivation is in this game, Roy, he'll quickly tell you it's his family. When we talked to him this week, he said, I've watched my mom fight through MS, and she continues to live life fully. He said, I've looked at her and known if you live life this positively, I have absolutely no excuse. He's also the grandson of Cuban immigrants who he says he learned work ethic from. So very special for him back in his home state, having them here watching him on. The impact his family has had on him is on full display.
Indeed it is. Fernando Mendoza, stellar quarterback play this season. Faced with 3rd and 8. Trying to step up in the pocket. Down he goes at the 20. Patrick Payton again. Acho, number 11, and Josh Farmer, number 5. It's a race to the quarterback.
The reason why that it was a race to the quarterback is that when the motion happened, the defense changed their coverage. The offense went to 2-by-2, essentially 2 receivers on one side, 2 receivers on the other. They said, okay, we know what kind of routes they run in this formation. Let's change our defense as well. Muddy the look for Fernando Mendoza. Patrick Payton takes a little bit of hesitation and gets a sack.
Wayne McCoy back deep to receive this punt. Lachlan Wilson. It'll take a Cal bounce all the way down towards the 11-yard line. How about a punt of 69 yards? Cal flips the field with its special teams. 6:15 to go here in our third quarter.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Geico, is brought to you by the all-new Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic.
Seven to 6 our score back in beautiful Tallahassee. Florida State leading California. This week, 2 Monday Night Football matchups headed your way. Trevor Lawrence leads the Jaguars against Josh Allen and the Bills with a special start time of 7:15 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and Jaden Daniels leads the Commanders against Joe Burrow and the Bengals at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC and ESPN Plus. Young quarterbacks in the NFL making their mark early. Handoff, back to live action. Toafili. Into the 15, a 5-yard gain. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. How would you describe what we've seen so far tonight? Clearly the defenses have stepped up. I don't know that the offensive play has been as crisp as both sides would like.
It's been inconsistent. That's what you've seen. You've seen a lot of hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. You think you're making progress, then you go backwards. That's what it looks like for both offenses in this low-scoring game.
It was Davis with the run. Steady dose of Lawrence Toafili, 76 rushing yards tonight. Davis again tripped up. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard. Noles went 3 and out on that first possession here in the second half, trying to regain that rhythm we saw in the first quarter.
Some of that rhythm, Roy, to your point, came from not the hurry up and wait, but a hurry up offense, a no huddle tempo offense to keep the defense on their heels.
Uiagalelei tries to buy some time, had to get across to the 21, and he did not get there. On 3rd and 4, he'll gain 2, maybe 3. It'll be 4th down for the Noles. And Acho, you feel that uneasiness, the rumble here in the crowd at Doak Campbell, wanting and hoping for more. Team with the lead, but a very dicey advantage of just 1. Mastromano has been masterful. Mikey Matthews. Bottled up. He'll lose a yard, maybe 2, after a punt of 56. 4:16 to go in the third quarter. The lead at 1 for FSU.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
The countdown is on. The new 12-team playoff, December 20th. How about home games in the playoff? It's going to be exciting. Of course, those top 4 highest-ranked conference champions get the bye. And then you start talking about home playoff games in the winter right before Christmas. Jay Knott, as Cal gets the football back, will race along the left side for 12. Lots made a difference tonight for this Cal ground game. He's yet to really get lathered up. Justin Wilcox would love for that to change right here.
Especially as it gets towards the fourth quarter. You start wearing on a defense, and all of a sudden a hole might be able to bust open. Defense is going to try to stay sound, but feeding out is not a bad idea.
It's been banged up. First team all Pac-12 a year ago. Mason Starling corrals it near the 50-yard line, a gain of 13 and another first down. So suddenly Cal, 2 straight plays, 2 straight first downs.
And this is when you start really talking and thinking about that field position. Everyone talks about this game as a game of field position, but in a low-scoring game, a 7-6 game, where field goals may be the difference, 3rd down and these first downs are of the utmost importance.
Cal Twitter certainly having a field day with the start of this game tonight. From midfield, Ott corralled. He's going to lose a couple. Forward progress to the 49. Josh Farmer, the tackle.
You don't have to guess anymore who's going to be in the backfield for Florida State. Josh Farmer, as he gets healthier after that broken hand, is finding ways to affect the game, whether he's the one getting the sack or getting the pressure or affecting the football. Players are the ones who make plays. So it's good to have a great call, but a player can be a great disruptor. That's what Farmer has been so far in this game. That's why Cal hasn't had a lot of progress.
Darius Jones also involved in that stop behind the line. Play action, wheel route, tight end. Andrews has it, his first catch of the night. It's close to another first down, an 11-yard gain. Cal has a couple of tight ends, some jumbo athletes play a multitude of roles for this offense, and play caller Mike Blesh.
And Andrews is one of those players that walked onto the team, a second-team freshman All-American, started every game last year. Usually he's a guy that's an inline tight end. Usually he's not the one catching too many passes, but sometimes you get rewarded after you do a lot of that dirty work on the inside, blocking big defensive ends.
Yeah, Justin Wilcox said those two tight ends are two of our best players on offense. And he meant that at a very deep level. 2-yard gain. Shaheem Brown with the tackle on Jaden Ott.
Officials timeout for an injured defensive player.
Injured player for the Seminoles. Harold Jackson Jr. remains on the turf. Well, while we have a moment, remind you ESPN supports the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week each year to celebrate great teachers across the country who have inspired so many of us. Nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org. And Sam Acho, this teacher very important in your upbringing.
Valencia Yarborough, she helped teach me, and now she's teaching my daughter Sophia. She talked about this being the first time that she's teaching a parent and a child. When I was in first grade, she was one of the ancillary teachers, and she recommended me to go to this school and recommended my daughter. And now my daughter is being taught by Miss Yarborough. I got a chance to see her at campus a few days ago, and much excitement when I saw her.
Back to live action, back shoulder toss incomplete to Anderson. David Anderson near the 10-yard line. That pass sailing out of bounds. And it was Jones in coverage. Florida State has found a little bit more in the secondary tonight. And a reminder, ESPN supporting the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week. Make your donation. On 3rd and 8, Mendoza off the back foot trying to set up the screen. Hunter bounces it outside. Acho, he made something out of nothing, but short of the line to gain. And an injured Cal Bear.
An injured offensive player. It's 4th down.
Near the 39. Well, 4th down and 4 with a place kicker that's been inconsistent at best to start this season. 2 for 3 tonight. His only miss coming from 36 in a play that ended a 15-play drive. So 1:43 to go. While we have a second, let's check back in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Now the Palace on the Prairie goes silent with Tennessee in town for the SEC debut for the Sooners. A lot happening there, and the Vols, hey, that defense is good. Quarterback plays outstanding.
But even more so, their run game has been great. Throughout 3 games, they've rushed for over 1,000 yards, over 450 yards last week. And so as great as Nico Iamaleava has been and their defense has been, they're playing a complete game.
The injury to Vadikani, as we went back to the studio there, junior right guard, Siwapa Vadikani. And the cart has come out on the field, Sam. He's been banged up at times this year, but an integral part of what offensive coordinator Mike Blesh wanted to do tonight here on the road, some 2,400 miles from home.
These are the parts that you hate seeing as a fan, as a viewer, but also as a teammate. When a person you've been practicing with and playing with is down and then the cart comes out.
See TJ Session and Cal offense on the field.
Guys, he just moved his legs for the first time ever since he hit the ground. He was staying very still, likely out of precaution. The Cal medical staff got to him very quickly. They moved the players out of the way to clear the area. Florida State's medical staff quickly came, as well as the cart. Vadakani, this was actually his first game play all season. He's missed the last 3 on the sideline along with Will McDonald. They've had him well hydrated, sitting in front of fans, working him back into game reps. He was thrilled to be back. Obviously, a large group around him, all of his teammates on a knee showing support. So I'll get updates from Cal staff as quickly as I can.
Junior out of Reno, Nevada. Siwape Fidakani. And to Taylor's point, you did see movement in the lower extremities as well as his fingers. Every precaution will be taken.
This is the part of the game that really humanizes what players do on the field. We root, we cheer, everyone gets excited. But sometimes you forget these are humans, friends and families. So we're hoping and praying that Siawapa Vadakani is okay.
Now 1:43 to go here in the third quarter. And some nervous moments. How does this impact a team and its psyche watching one of their teammates go through what appears to be a devastating injury? It's a lot to process, obviously, for the player and for everybody involved, but tactically it becomes a thing and a hurdle of sorts, I would have to think.
It almost feels like an out-of-body experience, because when you're in the midst of a game, some people compare it to battle. And so you're focused on the opponent, you're focused on the task at hand, nothing else outside of the game matters. And then when a situation like this happens, players are on knees and they all of a sudden remember, oh no, it's not even that could be me, it's, oh, that's him, a guy who I love, a guy who I care for, a guy who I go out to eat with, a guy who I go to class with, a guy who I've been rooting for to try to get him back on the team to help us win. And so it's almost like you feel like you're not in the game anymore until you see him okay, until you see him give a thumbs up or something. That's the feeling for the players who are on the field.
Justin Wilcox out to check on the situation. And the entire Cal team on the field. Attempt to get him on the cart. And you saw his hand in the air. A powerful moment.
Sometimes, Roy, that athletes are really good at compartmentalizing. So you're playing a game and you see your teammate goes down, goes back to the tunnel, gets checked on by the athletic staff as you hear the crowd cheering for him. But then you have to remember that you get to go back to the game for your teammate.
So it'll be 4th down, and Cal brings the field goal team out. And the Bears will attempt to grab the lead for the first time tonight. A 51-yard field goal attempt apparently about to take place off the right foot of Ryan Coe. Analytics would suggest this is a spot where Cal should go for it. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Makes from 25 and 29. He missed from 36. From the right hash again as Coe sends it. And Ryan Coe gives Cal the lead. 9-7. The Bears out in front.
That spells confidence. From coach to kicker, a kicker who just missed a field goal from much shorter. But the confidence in your kicker, the confidence in his leg, the confidence not necessarily in analytics, but in the fact that you see the way the game is going. A lot of points aren't being scored. You trust your defense. You believe if you can just take a lead, you'll be fine to be able to hold them off the board for the rest of the game. Courageous decision by Justin Wilcox. Looks like it's the right one, but now it's time for an answer.
A transfer from North Carolina. We've seen him at multiple spots. Delaware, Cincinnati. Ryan Coe. One thing we heard from this staff this week, the staff remained confident in his abilities. And the T word, trust. The trust was still there despite a 2 for 6 start before tonight. And for Justin Wilcox, his kicker now 3 for 4 this evening. In a game where 9 points could win it, Acho. Very important field goal, an important decision made by the Cal Bears. 2 yards deep to Span. Brings it out and gets hit hard to the 20. Still churning the legs. Florida State will take over there as we take a look. This week's college football rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Well, we told you earlier, next week you got Alabama and Georgia in Tuscaloosa. Both teams idle this weekend. Arch Manning, his first career start tonight. So far, so good against UL and Monroe. How about Vanderbilt taking Mizzou to double overtime? What else stands out to you, Acho?
Well, what stands out to me is that this is the second week in a row that Missouri has struggled, still found a way to win, but that stands out. And then also, #1 Texas, Quinn Ewers is out, Arch Manning is in. So far, so good.
Play action, Uiagalelei heaves one deep and has a man. Incomplete. A step on the defense for Benson. Noah Williams in coverage. Uiagalelei would love to have that one back.
And the reason why is that what DJU is known for is his big arm. He's one of the few he's got one of the strongest arms in all of football, but arm strength doesn't matter if you're not accurate. So he needs to, that ball needs to be more accurate if you want to have trust and confidence, talking about coaches, to take more shots like that. Expect them to go back to a play like that.
Is it as simple as you want more air under the ball and allow your receiver to run underneath it? Or is it simply just accuracy?
I would argue accuracy. I don't think it's necessarily about air under the ball. There was enough air under the ball. It needs to be in a place where the receiver can catch it.
Penalty marker comes in. A little pushing, a little shoving. And The Cal defense, Maurice Smith. To a Philly rush for 4 yards in the meantime.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 53, offense. After this is to the goal, the down counts. It's third down.
Missed what could have been a touchdown pass. 4-yard gain ends up being a negative play due to a penalty on Maurice Smith, the 5th-year senior from Miami.
This is why you get frustrated if you're a Florida State fan, because you're saying, okay, not only did we miss on what was a wide open pass, but now we're making silly or stupid mistakes. You see, Uluave is standing and waiting, and all of a sudden Smith says, I'm going to push you extra and hurt my offense.
Acho, the Noles have taken 3 deep shots tonight, 0 for 3 in that department so far. Uiagalelei bought a little time into traffic, and it's caught. That'll be a first down, Florida State. Ja'Kai Douglas. And a gain of 27. I'm not sure who that pass was intended for. Does not matter. It moves the chains.
And Douglas is a huge part of it. I don't know who that pass was intended for either. Maybe it was intended for Ja'Kai Douglas. But right now, first down, build momentum, hurry up offense.
Noles utilize tempo. Uiagalelei is going to lose 1, maybe 2. And sandwich between 2 Cal defenders.
Ja'Kai Douglas, 5'9", not a huge human being, 195, finds the football unafraid across the middle. That takes courage, but also that takes confidence. Going back to your arm after missing on a big throw, Florida State will need DJU to connect on a few more of those passes to try and get a lead.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Felt like 4 different players could have caught that last pass. 2 for each side. 15 minutes to go. 9-7.
Welcome back to Doak Campbell Stadium. Cal with a 9-7 lead. Coach Norvell joins me now. A 2-point ball game heading into the 4th. Your team is driving. How do you take the lead here?
Yeah, it's a big third down conversion. We got to make sure that we're not taking the negatives. We want to stay ahead of the chains. I think our guys are doing a good job throughout it. Defense is fighting hard, and it's going to be 15 minutes. We got to go put everything we have into this one.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Final 15 minutes back at this 9-7 rock fight on 2nd and long. Quick toss and a gain of 3 to Hakeem Williams. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. The fight has been there for Florida State. Make no mistake about it. The offensive production, execution, consistency still missing in action at times. This game's there for the taking and a chance to try to turn the season around with all that being said.
Somebody's got to step up and make a play. As much as you talk about fight and all that stuff is great, an individual on the football field has control of the game. One of those 11 guys on offense has to do something.
3rd down and 8, trailing by just 2. Uiagalelei. A laser beam to the far side. That was a long ways to throw that football. Harris knocked out Douglas out of bounds, 1 yard shy of moving the chains.
You wonder if they're going to go back to that 4th and 1 situation last time as they got this right down in front of the sticks. Last time they had a situation like this, they went 4th and 1. It looked like that tush-push formation. There was a false start. They ended up punting. DJU was 250 pounds. Hard to stop a guy that big with that opportunity.
Analytics tell you to go. Your quarterback's 252 pounds straight ahead. They'll shove him across the line. Let's see where they spot it. Didn't need much. It should be enough, and it is. Could a play as simple as that be the spark to start the 4th?
Well, it could be. And then could this be another time, we talking about the shots down the field, where Mike Norvell says, okay, now's the time we can take a shot down the field. We've been matriculating the ball. We had an opportunity the last series. Let's see if we can get one now. That could be what he's thinking.
On first down, Cam Davis. Oh, another form tackle, Craig Woodson. The lumber. 5-yard gain ahead of the 45. Cal will come up and strike you. There's no doubt about it. But a positive play on first down. Rushing yardage has been there this evening for the first time all season for Florida State. Davis again. Inside, Gibb churning the legs. Powerful finish, and that's a first down. It was Woodson again, a gain of 6. So you feel like Florida State has found something with number 3. Boy, he's a load too. True freshman, 5'10", 225. Former high school quarterback. Imagine tackling Cam Davis back in Albany, Georgia. His last couple of seasons. Gain of 2. McKenzie the tackle, and a methodical approach for Florida State to start the fourth quarter.
And I know it doesn't seem like much these last 3 plays, but 3 yards, 5 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards on the ground is demoralizing for a defense. The reason why is that 4 yards a pop is going to equal a first down. You can't stop the run. Now all of a sudden you don't know if it's going to be a pass, a play action. So these are positive plays for Florida State.
Play of the drive for the Seminoles. Uiagalelei sensing that backside pressure. That's a good play to get rid of it as quickly as he did. It was coming in from Smith. 3rd and 8.
You know what stood out to me, and this is 3rd and 8, so critical opportunity, but the guys like Jair Smith and Craig Woodson, one is a redshirt junior, one's a 6-year senior. The maturity of those DBs, these DBs may be the difference in this game. Can they step up and make a play, or will it be someone on Florida State's side?
One mistake by Uiagalelei in the second quarter proved costly in terms of his 3rd down passing. Wants it all, man-to-man coverage. Douglas is there and hauls it in. Touchdown, FSU. First connection of the night with a deep ball came in a big moment.
It's the offense that you've been looking for from DJU to Ja'Kai Douglas.
First touchdown grab of the season for the 5th-year senior. Fitzgerald's extra point is true. And our new score, 11:08 to go. 14-9. This is coming right into your kitchen.
DJ Uiagalelei has a great deep ball, a pretty deep ball. Ja'Kai Douglas receives that deep ball over Craig Woodson. Touchdown.
(14-9), Florida State back in front of undefeated Cal. 11:08 to go here at Joe Campbell Stadium. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis, DJ Uiagalelei welcoming back his offensive coordinator, Alex Atkins, who was suspended for the first 3 games of this season due to NCAA violations committed back in the spring of 2022. More on that in a minute as we check in again with Kevin Connors. KC, a great game developing here in Tallahassee late. The Seminoles in search of their first win of 2024. Mendoza, the pressure, the catch, and a first down for Cal. Mason Starling tumbling across the 40, a gain of 15 on first down.
Florida State's starting to bring more pressure. Mendoza's starting to feel that pressure. You got that ball out right in time. If you would have held on to it a half a second longer, not only would it have been a sack, but a potential sack fumble.
Fernando Mendoza, productive night on the road back at his home state of Florida. Told us this week we consider ourselves to be an underdog That is our identity, being an underdog. Brady on the jet sweep and ushered out near the 44. Shaheem Brown stopped him from a big gain.
Official timeout for an injured defensive player.
Florida State with the injured player for a moment. Racing off will be Brown. It's been a welcome addition back on the practice fields this week in Tallahassee. Latest lead Florida State has had in 2024. It's the first time that Cal has trailed in the fourth quarter this season as well. Handoff and a first down. Penalty marker comes in late. Thomas racing ahead into Florida State territory. And this one coming back.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Sweeney again, guilty party. Don't forget, coming up next Saturday, 8 Eastern, these Florida State Seminoles will welcome in another new team into the ACC in SMU. Road trip out to Highland Park, the Metroplex, Florida State, Southern Methodist, also available on ESPN. ESPN app, you can watch anywhere. Being televised on ACC Network. Something about new teams coming into the conference having to face Florida State as not necessarily their audition, but more a welcoming event. Florida State in position here. A 5-point advantage. On second down, Mendoza heaves it long. And it's corralled at the 30. Hunter twisting and turning right over Brown. And a gain of 34.
Talk about some of that confidence from quarterback to receiver. That's when it pays off. And now Cal's doing the smart thing, going into that hurry-up offense to try and keep the defense tired.
Give to Thomas. Straight through the A-gap, right in the center of the line of scrimmage. Brought down to the 25 by K.J. Kirkland.
You see Mendoza has time in the pocket, and he passes it to his trusted receiver, Isaiah Hunter. Isaiah Hunter, 6'2", 210, redshirt freshman, savvy receiver, loves to go up and get the rock.
Justin Wilcox told us this week Hunter's newfound confidence started in the spring. Started catching everything in sight, and a great chemistry connection with Fernando Mendoza. That's been on display tonight. Thomas on second and short. Right at the line to gain. Aaron Turner Jr. the tackle.
Talk about Isaiah Hunter's efficiency. He's got 4 of the 5 receiving touchdowns, and oftentimes those are in the red zone.
He's only playing some first down.
Florida State has been slowing down Hunter. This could be a time to go back to him.
Was enough for a first down. Thomas again to the edge. Into the open field. Round the tackle, another first down for Cal, and the Bears in the red zone and on the move. Well, this game has hit a different gear to start the fourth quarter. Movement everywhere. And that'll cost the Bears 5 yards.
Full start. Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty, first down.
We had a running back in the entire left side of the offensive line that was shifting around uncomfortably.
This is yes, the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but also the deal of, hey, we're making progress finally. We're playing in opponent territory. We got to go forward because these kind of penalties are costly when it comes to points.
Mendoza steps up. Oh, and if that tackle isn't made by Patrick Payton, he probably walks into the end zone. A shoestring stop at the 11th hour, right where the Bears needed it the most.
That's when that 6'5" frame and that 250 pounds comes in handy. Patrick Payton is essentially spying on the quarterback. This is the play that they have, and he's watching Mendoza, and he has to make this tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, as you mentioned, it's a touchdown. That's where length comes in. That's where intelligence comes in. That's where aggression comes in. So I have to go and make this play, because if I don't, somebody else won't either.
More penalty markers come in. And the crowd and Doak Campbell becoming a factor.
False start. Offense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It's the 5th false start penalty against Cal tonight.
A lot of those have been in this side of the end zone, whether going in or coming out. The crowd is starting to make some noise and affect the opponent.
Martin went in motion, may have leapfrogged the line of scrimmage right as the ball was being snapped. Number 17 for the Bears. Turner a tackle.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 17. Penalty decline. It's third down.
3rd and long from the 23. Mendoza steps up, buys some time, but not much. Tackled at the 20. And the Florida State defense holds a field goal attempt coming from Ryan Coe, who's 3 for 4 tonight. A 38-yard effort from inside the left hash. It's only missed from 36. Coe on the way, and Coe, it's wide right. .607 to go, the lead at 5 for FSU.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Geico. Get more with Geico. And in part by AutoZone. Get in the zone.
Pre-game flyover. 14-9, 6:07 remaining here at Doak Campbell Stadium. Florida State leading Cal. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Left side of your screen, a couple of number ones, as in number 11 and number 1. Shyheim Brown may have gotten a piece of this.
And the reason the play works is that Patrick Payton occupies the tight end to allow the hole to be open for Shyheim Brown to get in there. It's unclear if he got a piece of it or not, but special teams coordinators are going to watch that and say we'll have an opportunity next time around. Great job by both Payton and Brown.
As we went out to break, you could see Brown celebrating like perhaps he had gotten a fingertip on it. So an important play regardless. Coe has now missed 2 field goals, and you could feel a little special teams momentum there in that sequence. Brown was banged up just a few plays ago as well, had to trot across the full width of the field to get back to the FSU sideline. 2nd down and 10. How about 2 drives taking nearly 30 combined plays for Cal in the second half alone, result in 2 missed field goals. Bears trail by 5. Uyunglele tackle behind the line at the 18. It'll be 3rd and 12.
You don't want to get conservative here by any means, but this is supposed to be a time where you want to lean on the run game. You've been more effective than you have all season long, 134 rushing yards. I understand the idea of trying to take a shot on play action, but now you're in 3rd and 12, and now it's essentially an obvious pass down where the defense can tee off and know what's coming.
For Mike Norvell, that defense has played very well tonight. You wonder if you want to be aggressive here on 3rd and long, deep on your own end of the field. Uyunglele wants to throw it. He'll float it out of bounds. Uneven set of downs there for Florida State offensively.
And I understand the crowd's frustration and people's frustration, but Florida State's defense has been the story of this game. And so it's better to throw that ball out of bounds than to throw an interception and give Cal a short field. So now you rely on special teams, a potential could have been a blocked field goal, and rely on your defense that's only given up 3 field goals and 2 forced missed field goals from special teams all night.
Mikey Matthews back at his own 31-yard line. Nostramano. Shorter punt. Fair catch made at the 37. A punt of 44. Golden Bears will take over there when we come back to Tallahassee. Five-point game back at Doak Campbell Stadium. Florida State leading Cal. Don't forget, coming up next right here on ESPN2, 10:30 Eastern, a big women's college volleyball matchup. Number 11 Kentucky takes on number 2 Stanford following our game in Tallahassee. Sam Ocho-Roy, Philpott, Taylor Davis. Cal with the football. It's 1st and 10. Make it 2nd and long. Jay Not dragged down by Josh Farmer.
The idea now, if your defense in your Florida State is dominate, period. You call it a 4-minute offense, but it's really not. You know they need a touchdown. You know they have to score. Field goals won't cut it. So Farmer and the rest of this defensive line has to be able to get to the quarterback.
Seminoles defense tonight, Acho, 9 TFLs. They have lived in the California backfield. And for Adam Fuller, got to feel good for what he's seen from that unit the last 6 to 7 quarters. Screen pass. Goes nowhere. 3rd and long. Jay Knott didn't have an inch green grass in front of him.
Well, that's what you want to see. You call it 3rd down, money down, but in order to have money down, you have to be able to get them in 3rd and long so you know what's going to happen. Pass rushers, Patrick Payton, that's when you're thinking, okay, I got to hunt. Joshua Farmer on the interior, maybe on the edge sometimes. You're thinking, I have to find a way to affect the passer at a critical time.
3rd down and long, Mendoza. Got to make something happen with his feet, and he does! Racing into Florida State territory. 28 yards on the ground on 3rd and 14.
That's the most demoralizing thing that can happen to a defense. You have everything covered on the back end. Guys are getting around the quarterback, and the quarterback runs it for 30-plus yards.
Pump fake. Dump down to Hunter.
That's the thing about Fernando Mendoza. He's not afraid to use his legs. Nothing's open, 4-man rush. There's a spy on him, but the spy gets blocked, and Mendoza understands that. It's man-to-man defense. Everyone's eyes on the defense. They're not facing the quarterback. They're facing their work, their coverage. That's why that play was so wide open.
Fernando Sr., his mom Elsa, nervous moments. Cal going for the road win in Tallahassee in their first game. As members of the ACC, Mendoza threw it away. Third and 10. Pressure that time coming. Defensive end Byron Turner Jr. Cal, important to note, all 3 timeouts to work with and the 2-minute timeout.
But now, Roy, it's not about time at all. It's only about points and only about touchdowns. Time doesn't matter in this situation. You need first downs and you need touchdowns, period.
Pressure off the edge. Mendoza sacked at the 45. Marvin Jones Jr.
That's the pressure that you talk about when you're in that front four. Marvin Jones Jr. is going to be on the edge and going to win on the inside. Everyone is covered on the back end. That's what makes that play happen.
4th and 13. Cal's going to go for it. Anderson went in motion. Here comes the heat across the middle. Pass is caught right at the line to gain. Did he get there? He did. First down, Jack Endries.
This is the 2-minute timeout. Please reset the game clock to 1:58. 1:58, please. Timeout.
To go for it on 4th and 13 with 3 timeouts remaining from where they were, and to get it done. Cal is in business deep in FSU territory when we come back. (14-9), less than 2 to go, back in Tallahassee. Sam Acho, Roy Philpott, Taylor Davis. Fernando Mendoza quickly becoming the story tonight on the road. 2,400 miles from Berkeley. Cal is on the move. Jaden Ott to the edge. Lassoed out of bounds. Gain of 8, maybe 9. Shaheem Brown with a tackle. Both teams, Acho, with all 3 timeouts remaining, and we will see if that becomes a factor at some point.
And one of the stories, Roy, we were talking going into the season was all the loss of production from Florida State. Think about guys like Jared Verse in the NFL, Braden Fisk in the NFL. Their big-time playmakers are gone. The question is, who's going to step into those shoes and fill those gaps? This is the time where those questions have to be answered.
Clock stop. Ott bouncing out of bounds. Straight ahead to Ott again. That's a first down into the red zone. Stop to the 16. KJ Kirkland brought down number 1. Think about the chess match now for both sides with time winding down and those timeouts. Ott again. Boy, luxury to have that kind of experience. First team all-conference last year in the Pac-12. Back and healthy. A lot of confidence. He picks up 5 yards.
You're right, Roy. And this is the time, when you talked about the timeouts earlier, this is the time where that matters. Slowing the game down. Confident in your run game. Not allowing too much time, but you still want to score.
2nd and 5, and here comes a flag. Penalties so far tonight against Cal. Feels like a lot have been of the pre-snap false start variety.
False start. Offense. Number 63. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down. Please reset the game clock to 1:21. Disqualified. 10-second runoff. It was empty option.
10-second runoff.
Cal has chosen not to take a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. Please set the clock to 1:11 and start it on my signal. Thank you.
So from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and 10. The pressure magnifies the Florida State team trying to turn its season around. Cal wants to remain undefeated. His first game as a member of the ACC. No one thought the Golden Bears would be undefeated at this point in the season. And here they are.
Florida State has chosen to decline the 10-second runoff. Please put the clock at 1 minute, 21 seconds.
So a cat and mouse game there.
On the snap. Thank you.
With the 10-second runoff.
Cal wanted the time to go away. Florida State said, no, take those 10 seconds just in case you score. I want it for my offense.
Here's Mendoza. Pressure. Lost the football. Marvin Jones Jr. collapsing the pocket like his dad did back in the day. And the clock running. Cal did jump on top of it. Timeout's going to be called by the Bears. 5 sacks tonight for this FSU defense.
And notice they're not just sacking the quarterback, they're also getting the ball out. Marvin Jones Jr., 6'5", 255. He's attacking the football. Now, it was recovered by Cal, but that's a smart football play. Get the sack, but also get that ball out. It counts as a sack and a fumble as well.
Rush Reimer jumping into the pile to save this game for Cal and a host of his offensive line buddies. 3rd down and 16. Cal with 2 timeouts remaining, FSU with 3. You think back to the 2 missed field goals, the other opportunities for both sides, and here we are, a game that's come right down to the wire in the ACC.
Every point matters. People talk about it, this is the game of inches. It is a game of inches, but those inches sometimes can create points, and those points matter. 2 missed field goals could have been a totally different situation right now with Cal with the lead. But now Cal still has an opportunity with Fernando Mendoza trying to find a receiver and get a 1st down.
He's converted on 3rd and 14 and 4th and 13 on this drive alone. He needs 16 yards this time. Mendoza, front pylon, incomplete. Double coverage along the far side to Grizel. It'll be 4th down.
Tron Grizel is their deep play threat. And that was a little bit overthrown, but that is the right place to put the ball. Tron Grizel's coming on that. It's essentially an inside slot fade. You have space on the sideline, perfectly placed ball, or right location, but a little bit overthrown.
It all comes down to this. Florida State fighting. Pressure. Mendoza sacked. Edwin Joseph. Flag came in after the play concluded. The entire Florida State bench poured out onto the field.
The play is a turnover on downs. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, Florida State, multiple squad members leaving the bench area to enter the field. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
There is an injured Seminole back at the 15.
Officials timeout. For
this score holds. I'm not sure Mike Norvell's going to care a whole heck of a lot about what happened after the play concluded. And Shaheem Brown requiring some assistance at the 16. But boy, the pressure that's been dialed up these last 3 plays, Acho, legit.
The question is, who's going to be the guy to make the play? Edwin Joseph, 6 foot, 190, redshirt freshman, says, I will be that guy. I'm going to get pressure on the quarterback, going to force the offensive line to choose who they're going to block, leave one player uncovered, and Mendoza has to know that one of those players is uncovered and got to get the ball out quick. Give your offense an opportunity, but better job by Edwin Joseph, who Adam Fuller had said he's going to have a big-time opportunity in this game, taking advantage of his shot.
54 seconds to go, just 2 timeouts left for Cal. And DJ Uiagalelei slides down, a penalty marker comes in. And he was hit after he had already given himself up.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 0, 15-yard penalty, 1st down, timeout.
Acho, it wasn't pretty.
First of the half.
At times, if you're a Florida State fan watching this game, perhaps it was nerve-wracking. But in one contest, you secured nearly as many rushing yards as you did the entire first 3 games of this regular season. And your defense has now shown up. You know you can win with that unit moving forward.
And the defense is getting hot at the right time. 4 sacks in the fourth quarter. And I talked to Coach Fuller on the field before the game. He talked about this idea of no matter what happens on offense, it's almost like a track meet. Hand off the baton and you speed up. No matter what happens, if you're running a 4x1 and the person behind you was slower, just go. Go as fast as you can. Get gradually better and better and better. That's what this defense is doing so far this season.
There's 1 timeout remaining for the Bears. Travel back to Berkeley late tonight for an open date, and then Miami comes to town on October 5th. But for Florida State, a long ways to go, but a giant step taken tonight with its first win of the season.
Timeout, foul. Their 3rd and final of the half. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds.
One more moment to remind you, the WNBA playoffs tip off tomorrow. We'll have all 4 first-round games. The same format as the last few years, the best of 3 in each series. Stream Liberty on at 1 Eastern on ESPN. Fever Sun, 3 on ABC. Mercury Lynx at 5 on ESPN. Storm Aces at 10 o'clock Eastern. That is tomorrow night on ESPN. And stars like Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, all on display as the Aces look for another championship run. Fever check-in is the 6th seed. And we shall see what happens in the W. Think about Cal tonight, too, in that Florida State defense. 5 trips into the red zone, no touchdowns, the 2 missed field goals. Opportunities were there. Adam Fuller's defense said not tonight.
Sometimes it be like that. Like sometimes you get wins based off of defense, special teams, not pretty, but at the end of the day, no one cares how you got the W if you get the W. It still counts the same when it's all said and done.
1 more snap will be needed, about a 1-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. Seminoles will regroup quickly. Welcome in a new member to the ACC again next weekend at SMU. But tonight, a reason to celebrate. It's been a minute. The first win of the season comes in week 4. And for Mike Norvell and Justin Wilcox, a hard-fought game for both sides. But a big win for the Noles and the first loss of the season for Cal.
Huge opportunity for Florida State to gain some confidence and gain some momentum. Cal, on the other hand, they got to regroup and find a way to get victories in this new ACC.
Stanford Cardinal secured a win last night on the road in their first ACC game at Syracuse. Cal was close, but unable to close the deal. 14-9 the final. Kentucky-Stanford women's college volleyball action headed your way right now.